let's talk a minute about Marietta, Georgia. You were inducted into the Hall of Fame 2011 in Atlanta, Georgia. That was an honor.
Oh gosh, yes, it's probably the most exciting day of my life because I wrestled for Vince's father, and he was the nicest guy that I've ever met. Always treated me with respect, and so I came up to Philadelphia. The first match they had in the Spectrum, it was a brand new building, and our type wrestling was completely different from wrestling up there. They were huge men, and they weren't very fast, and I was only 235, but I was in good shape, and when I left the ring, the people stood up and started clapping, and I asked the referee, I said, "What are they applauding?" He said, "You." They hadn't seen anybody that fast, because their lightest guy was 280 pounds.
Wow.
Chemical Kowalski. He was wrestling Bruno Sammartino. And so I just appreciated that, and Vince's father and I formed a great friendship from that.
Wow,
that sounds a great thing going on, and you've not only yourself in the wrestling business. We talked about it earlier. You've got some other family in the wrestling business. What was it like?
4 of my sons, and I had the pleasure of wrestling with all of them. Of course, Brad, I wrestled with him for 32 years off and on. He started right out of high school when he was 18 years old with me, and also Scott and Steve and Brian. We all got to wrestle with my sons, and that was something really special. All 4 of them, we had tag teams at one time or another, and we went all over the South wrestling as a father and son team. I believe at that time we were the only father and son team.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a great part of Southern wrestling. I grew up in Middle Georgia and watching Gordon Soley.
Oh, he was the dean. He was dean. I was born in Middle Georgia, in a little town called Molina, Georgia, in a farmhouse, and so I know that part of the country real well.
Want to tell us what your boys are doing today? I know
Brian is a creative producer for Vince McMahon's WWE. And Scott is a producer and keeps time for all the matches. He has to keep time, and so that the show doesn't go over. And if one match, goes 20 minutes, and he has to check times so they don't go over the time limit. So they're both doing real well behind the camera now.
What about Steve? He's still on the
Steve's wrestling with me now. Okay. We just wrestled this past weekend at the Haji Shrine Temple. Right here in Pensacola. I was glad that was a short trip. Took me 20 minutes to get there. That's my favorite kind of trip. I'm worn out when I get there, so we had a good match over there. Steve's in great shape, so he and I are doing the father-son team all over the country now.
Amen.
Absolutely.
I got another question. Do you remember any matches at the Omni in Atlanta?
Oh gosh, yes, I had some great matches at the Omni in Atlanta. The one I remember most, I had torn a rotor cuff, and I had a cast on my arm, and I wrestled Jimmy Garvin. And the doctor said, "I don't think you should do that, with your arm like that." But I had signed for that match, and I had just flown in to Atlanta. And the match lasted 2 minutes. I hit him with that cast, and he was out for about 3 minutes. That cast was hard as a rock.
And who was it again you hit? Jimmy
Garvin.
Jimmy Garvin.
Ronnie Garvin's wrestling brother.
Yep, Ronnie Garvin.
Yep.
Well, a lot of great wrestlers are going to be up there. A lot of legends at the Wrestling Reunion 2014 at the Dalton, Georgia Trade Center. Absolutely, first on my mind is Bob Armstrong. Thank you so much for joining us here on Sports Viewpoints.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Another one you might remember is Wildfire Tommy Rich, was one of the hottest wrestlers in the country.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I remember him, and he'll be there.
But he was something else when he was a young man. They called him Wildfire, and he got that name honestly because he could wrestle all night. He was young and in great shape, and it was a pleasure just to watch him wrestle.
Could you ever locked it up collar and elbow with the Moondogs?
Oh gosh, yes. Yes, I did. My partner at that time was Don Morocco. I don't know if you remember Don Morocco or not. He was real big in New York area, and he came down to wrestle with us in the Georgia area. And they were great. Those Moondogs, don't let them fool you. They did that act like they were so dumb, but they were excellent wrestlers.
Yeah.
And if they hit you with that bone, you wouldn't forget it.
I talked to the Moondog just a few days ago, and he said that he was going to bring his bone
Yeah.
to the Dalton Trading Convention Center. So
Yeah, that's a secret weapon.
might need to take cover, Bob. He might come through there like a
You never know.
mad Moondog one more time. You never know.
That's right. It's in him. I guarantee you that. I'm looking really forward to that.
Yeah, it'll be a great show. A lot of people there, and Bobby Fulton, John Heidenreich, Rock and Roll Express. A lot of people. It'll be a great show.
Ronnie Garvey.
And I think it starts at 11, so I think it's 11 to 5. So there's time for people who have to work on half a day Saturday. They've got to 5 o'clock that afternoon to come by and see everybody, and it'll be a pleasure for me to talk to them, and I bring back memories for them, and they do the same for me.
Yeah, 11 to 5. You got that meet and greet, and then meet and greet. Wrestling. There may be some Greek wrestlers. Then wrestling. Bell time 7:30.
Yeah, the matches start at 7:30. And I tell you what, some of these guys have just gotten better with age. They've gotten better and smarter, and you see some great matches. I was on a couple of Legends shows not long ago in Tampa, and some of those guys, when I wrestled them at first, they were kind of green and rookies. Now they've got it all down, and they know how to hurt you in a hurry.
Yeah, great thing. Wrestling Reunion 2014. We'll be back with more Sports Viewpoints. And thank you for joining us. 2011 WWE Hall of Famer
Bullet Bob
Armstrong. We'll be back in 2 minutes.
My pleasure, and I hope to see you guys there, and I'll be there on May the 3rd. Looking forward to it.
May the 3rd in Dalton. Thank you. We'll be back in 2 minutes.
Wrestling fans, coming up May 3rd, Dalton Trading Convention Center presents Wrestling Reunion 2014. Come early for the meet and greet, stay for the matches, see set stars is WWE Hall of Famer Bullet Bob Armstrong, 2 former NWA World Heavyweight Champions Tommy Wildfire Rich and Ronnie Garvin, Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson of the Rock and Roll Express, one half the Fantastics, Bobby Fulton, the legendary Action Mike Jackson, former WWE Tag Team Champions, the original Demolition, Action Smash, WCW's on Buff Bagwell along with Lodi from Ravens Flock, 2014 Wrestling Union Dalton Trading Convention Center, May 3rd. Be there!